Well, folks, President Trump said that if the Strait of Hormuz isn't reopened, a whole civilization will die tonight. Oh, Mr. President, that was charming. That was lovely, sir. Wow, that may be one of your best yet. We're now in a moment, folks, where negotiations are not only stalling, they're probably over. All right. Now you got Congress, they're scrambling, trying to put a leash on this fella. A comment like that sent shockwaves throughout the entire global market, every newsroom on the planet Earth. And while the rhetoric is escalating, negotiations are doing the opposite. All right, they're breaking apart. In some cases, it's a complete collapse. So I've investigated what's actually happening behind the scenes, the stalled talks, the warnings, the congressional tug of war. I got to tell you, the people in Congress, it's like a steering wheel. They both got their hand on it, and the darn thing is still moving. Why the Strait of Hormuz has become the most high pressure square mile of water on the planet Earth. Going to break it down for you before this deadline hits and something else happens. As always, by the end of this episode, I will deliver the money shot. The Joe Rossano Show is next. The destroy civilization warning becomes the headline now, and I haven't even gotten to the president's Easter tweet. Oh, folks, that was adorable. If you missed that one, I'm going to bring you that because, oh my God, that's probably one of the nicest tweets he's ever put out. Now, before I get into all of that, okay, this investigation that I've done behind the scenes, I'm going to ask you kindly, and this is if you seek the truth, if you want me to call out these liars on air, which I'm doing a pretty darn good job of because they know who I am now. Please click the subscribe button, like, share with your friends. This share thing seems to be a big deal. Click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show. We really appreciate it. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day. It's Bridge Day, all wrapped up into one. All right. There will be nothing like it. President Trump threatens to destroy a civilization. And I haven't even gotten to his Easter tweet. If you think destroy a civilization was bad, oh, you should see his Easter tweet. It was charming. It was just like so inspiring. It's adorable, as only President Trump can bring. All right. Here's his tweet. All right. Again, put it in the comments if I'm wrong here because I'm having a hard time believing what I'm reading here. But again, should I? When it comes to Donald Trump, should I? I shouldn't, should I? Here we go. Open the effing street, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. I mean, just watch, he raged. Praise be to Allah, President Donald John Trump. He stated that the Strait of Hormuz remains closed and entire civilization will die tonight. Analysts describe the language as the most sincere of the conflict so far. I find that hard to believe. I mean, again, I got to tell you, you got Trump lovers, you got Trump haters. I am an independent. I'm in the middle, and I'm saying this fellow is losing his mind. He really is. I mean, the Trump lovers. We're going to start there. I mean, this is the president of the United States, guys. Really, I understand he wasn't a governor, he wasn't a senator, but open the effing street, you crazy bastards. The president of the United States. No wonder why the Trump haters have so much to talk about, so much subject matter. Boy, oh boy, global markets reacted immediately. 401k up, 401k down. Negotiations have hit a wall. Mediators report talks have reached a dead end. Iran rejected the latest proposals, calling them insufficient. All right. Regional partners are urging de escalation. My God, of course they are. But I got to tell you, progress, folks, my investigation, it's minimal. It's minimal. I'm looking at the clock right now, waiting till 8 o'clock. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't put it past Trump to do it at noon. At noon yet, or I wouldn't, I wouldn't put it past Trump to do it at 3 o'clock. I mean, goodness graciousness. It's like watching two people try to fix a car by arguing about the manual instead of opening up the hood. It really, really is. Iran is not reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Intelligence say that Iran is unlikely to reopen the strait without major concessions from the United States. So, what does that mean? That means that they want the bombing to stop. They want the aircraft carriers out of that region, and then they'll open the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, that's what they claim. All right, but Trump's not moving anything. I mean, I got to tell you, I do not like where this is going. The closure continuing like this, it's disrupting all the energy flows. Do you want to sail through the Strait of Hormuz? I mean, do you? Because I sure as heck wouldn't. The insurance companies aren't covering anything there. And why would they? Would you? Would you? Because I sure as heck wouldn't. Imagine, folks, okay, the world's busiest highway, it's suddenly closed until further notice. You got a sign with no explanation, right? Congress is trying to limit Donald Trump's authority, and several lawmakers introduced measures aimed at restricting military action. So, again, you got Democrats want to stop it. You got Republicans who say keep going, except maybe for a couple of them. But there's not enough consensus to stop this, to stop what he's doing. Those efforts haven't advanced due to opposition from Republican members of Congress. The debate has become one of the most intense of the current session. It's like the legislative version of everyone reaching the same remote control at the same time. They're all reaching for the remote. You ever been there? That's what they're doing. And it's a cluster. The whole thing is a cluster. It really, really is. The world has gone mad. Okay. You got Russia in Ukraine. You got NATO that is all but collapsed. Our allies are not helping. We're getting help now from the United Arab Emirates. Hey, that might be a new one for you. That's exactly what's going on over there. And the only thing we need, if I find some wood around here, I'm going to knock on it, is for China to invade Taiwan. If China invades Taiwan, we are really in it. We really, really are. I mean, because if you figure in the United States, they're bogged down. The Middle East again, Mr. President, you promised that you wouldn't. And China gets 80% of their energy from the Middle East. 80%. They got, there's over 1 billion Chinese. They get 80% through that Strait of Hormuz. That's where all the energy comes from. 80% for China, 20% for the entire planet. And it's a powder keg. It's really worrying me. I got to tell you, they are bracing for either a breakthrough or a major escalation. Several nations have increased readiness levels. Humanitarian groups are preparing contingency plans, right? I mean, and you see, this is on the peripheral. These are the things we don't see. Is, hey, look, if somebody's going to bomb my neighborhood here, I'm going somewhere else. And that's exactly what the folks over in Iran are doing. They don't want to get hit with a cruise missile. So it's causing a humanitarian disaster. There are hundreds, if not thousands of vessels, boats stuck in the Strait of Hormuz because they don't want to move. They don't want to run into a mine. And I can't say I blame them. It's the international equivalent of packing an umbrella, sunscreen, and snow boots just in case. So that's where things stand right now. Now, I got to talk about President Trump for a few moments. Again, you got your Trump haters, you got your Trump lovers, you have a guy like me in the middle. Thank God you got me, folks. Click that subscribe button. Here we go. Trump Haters. We're going to start there. You've heard this one before. If Trump could cure cancer and they would still hate him, they would say, oh, Trump ruined cancer. All right. He shut down all the chemotherapy, all the money that people were making from chemo treatments. That's what they would say. Trump lovers, they love it. They love when he goes on Twitter and says the F word and calls people, crazy bastards. They love it. They absolutely love it. Here's the thing about President Trump. He's like my mother, my late mother. I'm going to explain that to you. You know, he like delivers this beautiful steak on a trash can lid. It's exactly what he does because if you look at the issues, he's on the right side of a lot of them. And let me get into this real quick. I mean, for me, and I think many clear thinking folks out there, I don't want men in the women's room. I don't want tampons in my bathroom, right? I don't want men swimming against women, all right, slamming volleyballs in their face, beating them up in a boxing ring, raping women in prison because, you know, they let men in, who say they're women in prison. There you go. There's the thing. Wish Stephen A. Smith were here. He said it right. Most people think Donald Trump is less crazy than the Democrats are. That's what he thinks. And he's right. He's right. The Democrats would stop talking about castrating children and stop talking about, abortion in the ninth month on the ninth day. Maybe we could come together and get something done here. But until then, I mean, we're stuck. But I got to tell you, folks, this is a bad situation. I'm not trying to scare anybody. All right. I mean, our president, quite frankly, he is completely unpredictable. And that's good in some cases. In some cases, I mean, again, every time he does or says something nuts, which is exactly what it is, it's nuts, stock market goes down. He says something that, is somewhat positive, it goes back up. He's again, he's like my mother, my late mother. I miss you every day, Mom. My late mother would say, you know what? Oh my God, you were so beautiful. If you just lost some weight. Do you see what I mean? To her, that was a compliment. It really was. You're beautiful. If you just lose weight, that's what he does. That's just how the man communicates. So that's where things stand. We got a dramatic warning, stalled negotiation, congressional fiction, and a global choke point. It's still locked up. Deadlines approaching, stakes are enormous, not not these kinds of stakes. The stakes are enormous. And the next few hours will determine whether this moment becomes a turning point or another chapter in a rapidly escalating crisis. So at the end of the day, here's what I don't understand. I mean, again, even your pal Joe Rossano doesn't understand a few things. Okay, here we go. President Trump. Iran is beat to shit. Okay. That's what he said. Right. I know. The same look on my face. Iran is beat to shit. Then why is the Strait of Hormuz closed? How do they even have the power to keep that strait closed? From what they say, Donald Trump says, and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says, they don't have an army. They have very few missiles. That their navy is at the bottom of the Persian Gulf. Then what's keeping this thing closed? Then I mean, it seemed to me, if you watch the news, the United States has the entire country under surveillance and they're in control of everything. I just don't understand why the Strait of Hormuz is closed. But there's a lot of things I don't understand. Remember President Trump's address to the nation? We don't need any oil or any gas. We got our own. We got plenty. Why is gas prices still so darn high? Why? Yeah, think about that one for a second. And he said, why? Because this crisis is causing a slowdown in foreign oil. I thought we had our own. Make up your mind. So, I mean, we'll keep track of every development because whatever happens next, it's going to shape the story from here, right? So, right now, let me look at my clock here. It is 1:05 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, April 7th. Is it April 7th or April 8th? April 7th, 2026. And we have about about 7 hours from now, we're gonna see if Trump is gonna kill an entire, civilization. I just don't understand why he talks like that. I mean, again, I know some of you love it. Some of you love it, and in some cases, it's necessary. But, again, at the end of the day, Donald Trump is just I think he's losing his mind. I really do. I support our president. I certainly support our troops. And I respect the office of the president of the United States, right? But I mean, open the effing straight, you crazy bastards. Am I the only one who thinks that's gone too far? It's gone too far. And again, all praise be to Allah. Who does he think he is to say something like that on Easter Sunday? I can't. I just absolutely can't. We have to monitor this very, very carefully, folks. And, monitor your 401k while you're at it. Because if you have 100 grand, your 401k, you probably got 80 now, and you'll probably have 130 tomorrow. I mean, who knows? That is how volatile all of this stuff is. Now, as an independent, I said what I said about President Trump. Now, I have to do the other side. Iran. Think about Iran, folks. Think about it. Iran has been pretty much saying death to America for almost 50 years now. Almost 50 years. Remember those hostages? You remember that? If you're old enough, hoods on their heads. And I got to tell you, it was humiliating. It really was. They humiliated us in front of the entire planet. Jimmy Carter tried a rescue mission and the helicopters crashed. That the Iranian can, has been kicked down the road so many times by so many presidents and European leaders that I just think Trump got to a point where he said, you know what, I'm going to be the president who puts a stop to this. As an American, I don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And anybody who argues that and says they didn't, they got bunkers that are, hundreds of feet underground, surrounded by this and that. Okay. Of a rich uranium up to 60%, you need 5% for a peaceful nuclear program, 5%, not 60%, and a space program to boot. So, yeah, I mean, Iran was trying to get a nuclear weapon. Right. And they have proxies all over the Middle East doing Lord knows what. They were responsible for a lot of stuff. But, I mean, do we have to go to war every time Israel says so? I mean, this is their war. It really is. I mean, Iran's not going to fire missiles in the United States anytime soon. That imminent threat. The imminent threat was to Iran. That was to Israel. That's the imminent threat, folks. You want to know where the imminent threat was? That was the imminent threat. Right. So Israel attacks Iran. What do you think they were going to do? They're going to shoot missiles all over the place at U.S. installations. So we would have got in it at some point anyway. And I just think President Trump just figured, hey, I'm the president who is finally going to go into Iran and clean house. That you tell me to put in the comments. Am I going wrong here? I mean, the leaders that came before him, in my opinion, did such a poor job in some cases. You got President Obama. He gave the mullahs in Iran billions of dollars to do what? To build bunkers, start a space program to enrich uranium. Billions of dollars he gave them. He gave them hundreds of millions of dollars in cash to do what? To bribe them, not not to create nuclear weapons. Did it work? Did it? 60% enriched uranium. Did it stop the development of nuclear weapons? No, it didn't. President Bush, my favorite, right? He let China get so powerful that now they have a larger navy than the United States. China was nothing like they are now back in 2000, not that long ago. At the turn of the century, he turned China into let them in the World Trade Organization. They steal all our movies. They steal all our intellectual property, all our technology. They got farms all over the place here in the United States, thanks to George W. Bush. So there you go. For the Trump haters, I mean, what did you want the guy to do, really, in Iran? Somebody had to do something. You got to admit that can has been kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked. And Donald Trump just isn't the kind of guy that kicks the can. It's just not him. But, saying things like open the effing strait in public like that, you crazy bastards, all praise be to Allah, an entire civilization's going to die tonight. It's unbecoming of the office of the president of the United States. I said it. So we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully the update isn't as somber as this one. I hope it's better. I hope I hope there's a bridge left somewhere. I really do. I hope the Strait of Hormuz is open. I want an end to this conflict. I want the guys home. Now I don't want a ground invasion next. I mean, there's an escalation. The talks have broken down. Trump, it seems to me like he's completely out of control. Congress can't do anything about it. And we got ourselves a real mess. All over the world is a real mess. Talk about World War III. It's the first time since the 80s that I actually really worried about it. And I am. Once again, I do appreciate everybody hanging out here. We'll be back tomorrow. God bless you. Don't forget to adopt a pet. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, share, like, click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of The Joe Rossano Show.